All right, what's up, everybody? I'm here with Christopher Goulet. I don't know if you want me to call you Chris or Christopher. I don't ever call you Chris at all.
Yeah.
So I'm here with Goulet. He's a personal trainer at Movati. He works with all sorts of people. He was my personal trainer for just over a year, got me into some great shape. I wanted to bring him on today just to talk a little bit about how how people can stay in shape at home right now, especially as the gyms are closed. So, give me and the audience a little bit of insight into what you do and sort of what you specialize in.
All right. Well, I have been doing this for a few years now. I work with my clientele basically ranges from a couple of groups. I work a lot with autistic people on the spectrum. So, autism, I have a few clients in that range. I work with injury, a lot of injury recovery as well, knee replacements, surgery, that kind of thing, hip replacements. And I deal a lot with people who are just apprehensive about the whole thing. So people coming into the gym, perhaps it's an age thing, that kind of thing, and just dealing with them, kind of easing them into it, letting them know that somebody's there to kind of walk them through the whole thing. So a little bit, and actually, sorry, young athletes as well. So I work with football players and baseball players.
Right on. And your background is in football, right? You played football for a
Yeah,
number of
I
years.
was a football player and I was a swimmer as well.
Right on. So that's got to be a huge thing because I think a lot of people find even just going to the gym, let alone getting a personal trainer, to be kind of a daunting task. I know for myself it was, which was why it was great that you got into it and I was able to start that with you. I know
Yeah.
it's sometimes a little bit stressful just even meeting other people
Yeah.
and meeting somebody who's at a stage like in physical fitness where you would love to be and having them tell you sort of how to do it and knowing that you're a little bit that it's a little bit lacking is a huge barrier to getting into it. And I found your approach was really good. I mean, the first day I think I almost threw up,
Yeah.
and yeah, and that was me kind of pushing myself a little bit too hard.
Too
And
hard. Yeah.
but every time after that, it was we were really focused on how to get the most out of every workout without pushing yourself to that point, right? So maybe talk about that a little bit, kind of what your approach is to having somebody brand new who's maybe like mid 30s, early 40s, who, is trying personal training for the first time.
I think you kind of nailed it on the head. I think, especially when dealing with a personal trainer, we kind of, the first day or two, do have a lot of people that come in and want to throw up and pass out because they want to almost impress us.
Yeah.
It's one of the first things I say not to do. Just come in here. One thing that people, I really try and get out of the way early is that this isn't going to be a time frame thing. Are you planning on only do this for 3 months or 6 months or
Yeah.
9 months? What it should be is learning how to make this a lifetime dedication,
Mm-hmm.
making it something that you make part of your lifestyle to age gracefully. That's the one I always like to say. I make the joke all the time. When I'm 90, I want to open my own peanut butter jars without
Mm-hmm.
asking for help. I don't want bars next to my toilet. I don't want help getting up from the couch.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot more as the age progresses, especially since we're in a world of this, man. I had an instructor in one of my courses once make the joke, but it was a good joke. He said, it seems that when people get home in the evening, there's a challenge to see how many screens they can put between themselves and the
Yeah.
wall,
Yeah.
right? So you got your phone, you got your iPad, you got your laptop, you got your TV. And that's what we do. You sit on a computer all day at work. You get home. It's a long day, man. What do you want to do? You want to sit and watch Netflix, eat some food, and go to bed.
Yeah.
When you think about that, we are in a sitting society, and they're not joking when they say sitting is the new smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting is slowly killing people.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do as personal trainers is really make them realize that it's not the be all and end all just because you feel you might be in the worst shape ever, especially now with COVID, because now mentally people are in the worst shape ever, if you get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying with that.
Yep.
We're seeing a lot more mental issues coming about, and that's goes part and parcel with the two. So being able to train physically is so good for our overall health, not just physically, but as we now know, science tells us mental as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that said, with getting people to start, I think the biggest thing is to ask the why.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I ask everybody. Why? What made you come into me today? Why didn't you come in 3 months ago? Why didn't you come in a year ago?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it today? Why is it today that you came in? And as soon as people can start to identify with the why, man, it changes
all kind of
everything.
clicks.
You've been there. You've
Yeah.
been there. Once we set our why, it changes everything, right? Once you get through that first week of feeling like you're going to throw up, feeling like you need a nap afterwards, or just the soreness of your muscles. Once you
Mm-hmm.
get through that, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's just showing up.
I mean, I remember probably about 6 months into it, I went from not being able to do much, right? Like having to take breaks in between and having trouble doing the entire workout from beginning to end, to getting to a point where we were rocketing through it and there was really no breaks. Like it would be going from one to the next to the next. And that was such a big moment, I think, in that journey where you're like, okay, I'm in a shape. Like I'm not completely right. You're not ripped, you're not jacked, but you're able to get through a workout and you feel like you have that cardiovascular and the strength to be able to do it. And it's
absolutely.
Yeah. And it's
absolutely. And those are what having had me, those are the aha moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have a six pack. People come into me, can I get a six pack? Sure. If we can put in the time and the work, absolutely you can. But it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the way biology works is now men have a little easier time seeing results almost instantly as opposed to women. But the point is, you need to concentrate on those aha moments.
Mm-hmm.
Can you move something that you weren't able to move 6 months before? Working with kegs, for instance. Do you get up the stairs without being out of breath? All those little details. Can you now get out of a couch without making noises? All those little things we do are the aha moments. And once you start collecting those aha moments, it really almost makes it easier. You've been there, right? It becomes easier once you start seeing the magic happen.
Yeah. And I mean, so that's a good segue into kind of what we're planning to talk about today. Right now, right, we're in Ontario. It's January 27th, and we're currently in a stay-at-home order, which means gyms are obviously closed, right? So we can't go to the gym. We can't use all the fun equipment there. So I really want to talk to you about tips and tricks and ways people can move now, because even like at least when we're not at a stay-at-home order, people can walk to their car, walk up some stairs, get to their office, like make little choices like that. But right now I'm at home. I could literally almost stay on one floor of my house and go from my bed to my office.
Yeah.
And then walk downstairs, get on a couch and veg out for an hour and then go to bed. So what are some tips that I can do in a home office or around the house or whatever else? Like, I'll just let you start.
Well, I think the first one I'm telling people to do is to treat it the way it is. So for a lot of you that have had to transition to working at home, that's tough. Having to educate your kids at home, that's tough. Yeah. Now, the first thing they're saying for all those situations is to come up with some sort of schedule. I think the same thing applies here. If you're working from home, make your workout time consistent. Before lunch, after lunch, whatever you want to do, but make it consistent. So if it's 2:00 every afternoon, you're going to do your little workout, then make sure at 2:00 every afternoon, you're ready to go. You got your plan, you get to go. Now, the workouts themselves have definitely changed. You mentioned the lack of equipment. Unfortunately, it's not just that. It's people are putting the prices up on all the equipment, and that's not cool. Now, what I always say is the more creative you can be, the better you're gonna do. So you mentioned stairs, for instance. Well, if you happily are lucky enough not to live in a bungalow, you've got stairs. So there's a great top routine right there, up and down some stairs. Now, if you want to make it a little more creative, for instance, just off the top of my head, walk up the stairs, top of the stairs, give me 10 body weight squats. And then walk back down the stairs, and at the bottom of the stairs, maybe give me 10 push-ups. You know, if you can't do full push-ups, do them on your knees. If you can't do them on your knees, do them on a wall. We all have to start somewhere, and I think that's the big thing that people, it affects them, especially at the start. I always try and tell people, you'll know this expression, I've said it to you a million times, It doesn't matter what the other guy's lifting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? How many times did I say that to you? This is your journey. It's not anybody else's. So again, if you can't do full push-ups, start what you can do. If you can only do 3 push-ups to start with 3. Benson, I'm going to throw you under the bus here.
Yeah.
The very first day we met, how many push-ups did you do in front of me?
I feel like it was like 5 or 6.
It was 3. It was
Wow.
3. The end of that month, you were up to how many?
At least 10, yeah.
10.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, I mean, you said it, when we were doing our routines, you were easily, I would say, drop and give me 15 and you could, and then you get up and you pop up and you do something else. So that's the point. The progression really is important, and don't down yourself for wherever you're starting. Everybody has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
As far as getting weights goes, that's the big one everybody's asking me. So go around the house, vinegar bottles, bleach bottles, things like that. Old bottles, keep them for now, because you can fill those up with water. They definitely add some weight. One thing I've also been telling people to do is the shopping bags, the reusable shopping bags that we use, all of us use now. Very good. Throw some cans of soup in there. Now that's the best part. And then you can increase with the bags, so for week 1, you're doing 2 Habitant pea soup cans per bag. Perhaps by 3 weeks later, you're doing 4 Habitant pea soups per bag.
Yeah. And I mean,
body weight's a big one. Oh, go ahead.
I just think, I was going to say, I think a lot of people get caught up in the minutia of working out, right? Which is really reserved for athletes. Like if you, like, you don't need a chart to chart your exact weights going on. Doing something is so much better than doing nothing and figuring out what the optimal weight is, right?
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree. And I mean, that just proves why body weight stuff works, body weight squats, lunges, push-ups, planks, anything to do with your core, leg raises, crunches, these are just off the top of my head. And then throwing in extremities. I mean, you want to do arms. That's where I'm saying, bring in the big juice cans, the Allen's apple juice cans, or, your vinegar bottles, like I said, or your grocery bags, like I said. If you have children around, they weigh stuff. Use them. Puppies, dogs, whatever.
Whatever will stay still in your arms.
But exactly. And I think the main thing is to just remember, you have to sort of be creative. We're in a time where we need to be creative. It's hard to find equipment. Bands are excellent. So the big one I'm telling everybody, if you could find anything, workout bands, really, really good. Winners is excellent for that. They've got good stuff in their little workout section, pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So bands, great idea. Any of these home ones I told you about. Another good one is, obviously, if you can get your hands on some dumbbells or a kettlebell, excellent. But other than that, be creative. Like I said, if you've got, firewood, shoveling, another great one. Get out with your pets. These are all ways to stay in shape. And, the big one is to balance the physical and the mental. It's real easy to wake up, like you said, have breakfast, make my coffee, and sit and watch a couple episodes of Hell's Kitchen. And then before I know it, it's 2 p.m. So that's where the schedule comes in. So with all these kind of little tips here and there, you really can kind of come up with something that at least get you through till we reopen.
Right. And what are some good resources that people can use? Like, let's say they want to start a workout routine. They don't really know how to do a push-up. Would you send them kind of to YouTube, or is there a specific resource that you would use that you would say is good advice? Because there's all kinds of a spectrum of advice out there, right?
Yeah, I think like anything else, it all comes down to, just do a little research on your own. There are plenty of great trainers online, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. But at the same time, we're saturated with imposters, a bunch of people who look pretty and therefore show, tips on how to look pretty. The problem is a lot of the form is junk. So what I would say is, I guess there's a couple options actually. So they have all kinds of workout apps that I'm assuming they're free. I don't use them myself, but I know a lot of people do. Now, whether they show proper form and stuff is the difference, but they can definitely do some programming for you. YouTube's a great resource again for seeing these videos. Just make sure whoever you're watching has some sort of, I would say, check, see if they have any kind of qualifications. That can just give you a little more credibility as opposed to just somebody who throws himself on YouTube as a personal trainer because of the fact that they look the part.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So I would say that just be wary of who you're going for. A lot of the people, it's also what you're looking for too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yoga, well, that's a great one. You can go online, YouTube for 100%.
Yeah.
And again, most of the stuff we're discussing is just basic stuff. So push-ups, sit-ups, stuff. So that's pretty comfortable. Most people can probably find a good video on how to teach you how to do that. Now, if we were getting into, you know, clings and proper heavy squats and something, that's where I said more qualifications would probably be the better idea.
Be a little more picky on who you watch.
Well, yeah, exactly. But for the basics, I'd say most people can probably find something online that'll help them out. Yeah, if not, always know somebody. Again, reach out to me if you know me. Happy to do that. But there's lots of reasons.
How about we give people your Instagram handle so that they can send you a DM to ask some questions?
There you go. There you go. What is my Instagram handle? We'll get that after. Throw that in after.
We'll put it into the notes. So we've got there's been a little bit of advice that I've heard out there. I'd like to get your opinion on it. So there was somebody that I was watching that said, just move. Like make your goal during these lockdowns to do something every day. So whether that's walking, running, biking, really not for us here in Ottawa, but you know, whoever's watching this somewhere where it's not super snowy out, but doing something, walking up and down the stairs, taking your dog for a walk, whatever, do that every day. And that's a good way to, at the very least, get started.
Exactly. That's what I was saying about throw it into your schedule. Exactly that. You know, especially if this is something you haven't really done, maybe ever actually. I mean, we always assume we're talking about people that used to do it, but at the same time, there's people who've never done this, you know, kind of thing before. Some people weren't athletes growing up, you know, had no interest in physical activity, sports, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so this could be brand new for a lot. So that's definitely a good, sorry?
So just take it easy and
just saying, do something, you know, and it's going to sound silly, bro, but I'm even talking like dance.
Yeah.
You know, dancing. You know, what a great, you know, are you getting your heart? Here's the questions you need to ask yourself. When you're choosing your activity, we'll say, are you feeling that your heart rate is going up?
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Do you feel like your muscles are getting exercise anyway? So yes, walking up and down stairs, are your muscles activating? Yes, they sure are. So starting off easy, again, like I said, go up the stairs, 10 bodyweight squats at the top, come down the stairs, you know, 10 push-ups, go back up the stairs, 10 crunches, go back down the stairs, you know, 10 lunges. You can make a full body workout. You just got to think of the muscles. Now, with that said, being active is literally, like you just said, do anything. What interests you? Some people like tennis. I'm not a tennis player myself, but is that a good way to be physically active? Heck yeah. Absolutely it is. Golf. I'm not a golfer, but a lot of people love golf. So find out what you like to do. For those of us who have animals, the animals are the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. And get active a little bit.
And just remember too, I mean, chores can always be, you know, shoveling the driveway is a really, really good way to get that blood pumping.
A really intense vacuuming session.
Intense vacuuming, throwing some leg weights, whatever. But yeah, that's the thing. And just, you know, get creative, get active. If you have a rowing machine, row to China, wherever. Just
what do you think? What do you think about standing desks?
Standing desks. I like them. I would assume it's definitely better than sitting. As I said, sitting is the new smoking. So
cool.
Standing desk, great. I have some of my autistic kids sit on balls, exercise balls. That's more for them, but that's great for your core. Great for your core. Got walking desk. Now, if you are unfortunately a person that needs to sit all day at the desk, then I say make sure you take 10 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, and get up, walk around, do that sort of thing, and just.
Oh, I kind of lost you there. Oh, you're frozen. Oh, he's gone. All right, we're back. We had a little bit of got cut off on Zoom, the fun stuff of technology, and Goulet and I were just talking. He's going to actually open up his brain and give everybody at home give everybody at home a little plan to get started. So the best way to get this is to follow him or send him a DM on Instagram at Tour This Goulet. So tour like the word tour, this like the word this, and Goulet, Goulet. That's his last name. So if you follow him, he's got some workout stuff on there, and he will connect with you and send you a quick little routine that you can do every day. That's not gonna kill you, but it's gonna get you started. So
get you started. That's what we got to do. And the favorite thing I always say, and I said it to you, man. A year from now, a year from this day right here, you're going to do one of two things. You're going to thank God you started, or you're going to wish you had.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really that. And I mean, I think that's a good place to end off. And good advice. You're an amazing trainer. And if everybody sends you a DM, they'll hopefully get started on this tour, and then eventually come see you at Movati and get some real training going on. So we will definitely circle back and do a round 2 of this, maybe helping people get a little more advanced at home. We'll see how long this lockdown happens. But either way, we will connect again on here and send out some more content to these people.
Cool. Thanks,
buddy.
brother. Appreciate your time.
See ya. Have a good one.